Doing great and ready, excited. I love these chapters.
Yeah, there's some good ones in here. I have to be honest, I kind of did like a skim through this week instead of a full reread. So I hope that, you know, by talking with you guys, it'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's jump to it. But what did you think, you know, in your initial, because you're initially reading through this. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let's say hello to the chat first.
Oh, sure.
First of all, we always have Tina Bojan says, good evening, friends. And she says, it's another day of lurking. That stinks. But she's here at least watching. She's working, but I'm very happy to be gainfully employed and blessed. Absolutely. Joe Kim Stark says, I tried to get a little sleep, but Tesla earnings call and SpaceX SN15 static fire later. Here I am. 1:58 and 30 minutes till the stream starts. Well, I'm glad you're here, buddy. Storyman Jack says, I had to cancel my stream, so I am here listening while I get work stuff done. I hope everything's all right with you, my friend. He is a channel member. So is Tina. George will never finish his books. Thanks, Parrot Head. I love you. And Joakim Stark. All right. Joakim is now a channel member. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And at the hot pie level, I got to get like little things like hot pie being like, I baked bread for you. When somebody like becomes it, someone has to teach me how to do this stuff. Teresa, I suck at it. Are you good with the computer? Like just in general. I'm not asking for help. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the computer, do you know how to, like, you know, play around with it, do all those like little fancy things like that? I could edit a video barely, you know?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I am once I learn them. There's some things that I would like to learn to do to add into them. Uh, I do my video editing actually on an app on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, it worked really well.
See, I tried something Nerd Cookies told me about. I downloaded this one app. I won't say what it is. I'll tell you about it later. And they had two versions you could download, like a 17 version and a 16 point some. And I did the 17, and like the minute I went to do a video, it asked for $299. So she said it was free, so I got to talk to her because I would like to get more edited videos. How many do you do edited videos during the week? Like, I know you do some here and there. I watch your videos, but are you more of an edit, or do you like live streaming more?
A little bit of both. I can't really live stream right now just because of my work schedule. But yeah, I do edited videos. Sometimes maybe it doesn't appear they're edited because I don't do a lot of fancy stuff. But as far as dialogue and cutting and pasting, and with my cat videos, I often work on the music editing, and I do a lot with that.
I love those. Those are so good. Yeah, I got to get back into it. I was using a certain app. I let that run out because I was mostly just live streaming, but I'd like to get back into making funny videos. So that's my next plan. Funny videos about our fandom. So stay tuned, everybody. But Joakim, is it Joakim or Joakim? I always screw it up, but thank you very much, Master Stock, for becoming a Hot Pie member. Jacob Archer Barton, one of my newest, biggest supporters. I really appreciate it, buddy. You always sharing out my links and stuff. So thank you guys. If you could share out the link. We don't get a lot of views on the Monday night one. I really don't care. I love doing it, and I would like other people to see what we talk about, but if not, that's fine. But if you could share it out, hit the like button, and when we're done, leave a comment, because that really helps. And who else? Shane Nolan, of course. I said that before. Sonny Frank. Love when Sonny Frank drops by. Brutal Morningwood. Best name. Epic. Love you too, buddy. T-shirt historian. How are you doing? It's been a while. And I think that's it for right now. And your little hello and Rose. I love that one. But so let's get back to what I was going to ask you. A lot of the times we find something in the 3 chapters that's comparable with the 3, or something that, that's connective, or I like this one a little bit more. What was your feelings? Was there a chapter that jumped out at you or anything like that?
I would say the chapter with Cat, because there were some very iconic moments in there, and also the scenes from the TV show. Actually, did very well. The TV show, I guess, did very well when they stuck with the books. But that was a favorite scene of mine from the show, when Brienne pledges her loyalty to Cat. I thought that was pretty cool. I was also found it very poignant, some of the scenes later with Kat, when she is dealing with her father and with her husband. So I really did enjoy that one. Yeah. I always love the Tyrion ones too, because of course. Yes.
Tyrion's great. I'm pretty sure this is a great Tyrion chapter. And who else do we have? Kat, Tyrion, and Dany. Well, I don't know if you've noticed this. Okay. So we're on Tyrion 9, Cat 5, and we're only on the 3rd Dany chapter in the 2nd book. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because you see in the 2nd season, I want to say, like, out of the maybe 10 episodes, 7, maybe 8 of them, she was in Karth. And really, you don't see Karth a lot in the book, but you get so much more bang for your buck in the chapters he does. So I can't wait for you to read those, even though, like, the first time I read through them, like, Clash of Kings wasn't my favorite book when I first read through, but I'm starting to find some real gems in it. So what did you think about the Dany one?
Not too crazy about it, actually. When I saw that it was Dany, I'm like, oh no, because I feel like it's not really going anywhere. Except I was told by a mutual friend there's something, though, going on that has a payoff. So that made me kind of maybe look at it a little more closely. But
you said the Dany chapter?
The Dany chapter, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Dany chapters actually are really good, and the first couple suck. Like, for me, like, when I, like you, going through it the first time, it was kind of hard, but they build a little bit. But yeah, I could see why you would say that. Keck 44 is here. What's up with the eyeballs? And then Orville Nation, who is blowing up, dude. He is doing so well. He's getting like showrunners and creators on his channel. Like PJ is out of this world. And he's a friend to all of us. And he's just such a good human being. He says, got to talk to you this week, bro. We'll hit you up. You didn't have to pay me $5 to tell me that, my man, but I'll take it. Thanks, friend. You hope the family and you are doing well. Guys, literally, if you're not subscribed to Orville Nation, you're missing out on not just Orville news, but Dark Matter, Star Trek stuff. And he has like actual actors, showrunners, things like that on. So please follow him. And he's a good human being. It is Joachim. Okay. As in Abba. Kim. As in Kim. Kim Yan-un. All right. Thank you. And I know you've done that before, Joachim, and I've screwed it up every time. All right. We got another $5. Wow. V-Star. Yay. Wait a minute. V-Star. Your name was different before, right? You know V-Star, right? She's changed her name like 3 times. She's amazing. Oh. Is it Nance? I think it might be Nance.
Okay, that's confusing. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. She's changed her name a couple times, but stop by to show my love hugs. Nance. It is Nance. Okay. Nance, always love you. I haven't seen you in a while. So, I mean, that's awesome. You didn't have to throw I always feel bad when people super chat me, but I really appreciate it. Is that weird? Like, I don't know how people get used to it, but I love getting money. I don't know. I'm weird.
I was about ready to say I will never have to get used to getting money.
Yeah, no, but it's like, thank you for giving me money for talking. Like, Yay. I'm glad we could bring joy to people, I guess. And I'm hoping to make enough where I don't have to work weekends anymore at work and I can just like dedicate more time to this. Well, we shall see. Stop by to show love. Yes, you did. And it is Nance. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into this. We have the first chapter. Here we go. Hold on. Let me share this. High production value. Chapter 39. We got to just let that run for a second. Oh, that's the Iron Throne in the books. Do you see that, people? That is the difference between like what the Iron Throne was supposed to be and what it is. George made this world. He always said, I made it so big for a reason, so that they couldn't turn it into a movie or a show. But I guess he failed on that. And you are going to read the cat one. Holy crap. I got to get this one real quick. What is SEX? I said S. That's sex. SEK.
I'm not sure.
South Korean?
No.
But for $20, thank you so much just to make you feel bad. Oh, you already just became a member today. Come on.
We're all Googling.
I know. These people are great. Don't feel bad. You deserve it. Wish you much abundance. Thank you so much. Okay. So sorry about that.
Oh, it's Sweden.
It is Sweden. That's right.
There we go. Well, Stig's not here, so.
Oh man! Someone take a screenshot of. All right, hold on. Where's Parrot Head? Take a screenshot of that and send it to Stig. That a Swede is hooking me up with cash, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And if you pay me enough, I'll say Sweden's better than Norway. I don't know. I'm just kidding. So here we go. We got the Catelyn chapter. You're going to read it. And if you don't know, or if you haven't been here before, we take the synopsis from a wiki of Ice and Fire, which is Westeros.org. Sometimes they're a little long, so bear with us, but it really does give you a lot of information. And then after the synopsis, we discuss. So whenever you are ready, my friend.
Okay. And I think that I will have to... Give me a second because
No worries.
Which chapter is it again?
It is 39. So yeah.
30. Oh, no wonder I went to the wrong Catelyn. I'm like, I think and I've
Well,
read
don't.
this one before.
Well, you could take a second because Orville Nation with a $10, man. Imagine what Sporking News would be like if Scotty was doing this full time. Make sure you all super chat Scotty at least once a week and become a member, dude. That is really nice. God, man, I don't know. Am I going to get emotional tonight? Thank you so much,
Make
dude.
him cry.
Yeah, I would. I would love to do this full time, but being a dad with 2 kids and 1 on the way, health insurance is important. But if I could just work 5 days a week, I'd be really happy about that because I work mostly 6, a lot of 7s. So that would be cool. All right. So thank you, my friend. Again, make sure to check out Orville Nation. Tina put the link up. Please. I think he's reaching for 7,000 followers right now. So help him on his way. All right. Whenever you are ready, my friend.
Okay, it is time. Catelyn 5. Once upon a time, Catelyn and her escort are nearing River Run and are met by Martin Rivers and his outriders. She learns that Robb has crushed Sir Stafford Lannister's levies and that the Great John has seized 3 of the Lannisters' gold mines. Robb reached Oxcross by following a trail Grey Wind had discovered around the Golden Tooth. However, Martin tells her that Lord Tywin is marching on River Run as they speak. Catelyn makes all haste back to her father Hoster's castle, but first takes Brienne as her sworn sword to prevent the girl from doing anything foolish. Catelyn is fearful of her brother Edmure's chances in battle against Lord Tywin, and outside River Run discovers Lannister men hanging from the walls. Edmure informs her that 4 men from Sir Cleo's party attempted to free Sir Jaime and nearly succeeded. They were hanged for their deeds, and the Kingslayer was placed in the deep dungeons and chained to the wall. Her father's steward, Uthba Wayne, asks Catelyn if there is no hope of aid from the south, hoping that Stannis Baratheon will be forced to make common cause with them. But Catelyn gives no answer since Stannis had made common cause with a power greater and darker. Edmure also explains that birds have arrived from Storm's End with messages from Sir Courtney Penrose seeking help. Courtney claimed he feared for the boy Edric Storm, Robert's only known highborn bastard. Catelyn makes known her dissent in Edmure giving Lord Tywin battle. Her brother has commanded Roose Bolton to take Harrenhal and has also called the levies from the twins, those under the command of Sir Helman Tallheart. Catelyn argues that Robb left those men to make certain Lord Walder kept faith. She learns that Roose wed one of Lord Walder's daughters. Catelyn then visits her father, but Lord Hoster mistakes her for Lysa and mumbles several strange, disjointed lines. John's a good man, strong, kind. You'll wed when Catelyn does. That stripling, wretched boy, not speak that name to me, your duty. Catelyn is then led by Eutherides to the Silent Sisters, who possess Lord Eddard's bones. When she states that she must thank Cersei for even this much, her father's steward tells her to thank the imp, since it was his doing. Catelyn thinks to herself, one day I will thank them all. Catelyn commands the Silent Sisters to lay Ned's bones to rest in the crypts of Winterfell, and then asks to be left alone with her husband's body, musing that she envies the Silent Sisters for their supposed ability to speak to the dead. Dun, dun, dun.
That was a nice little pause there. I like that. You're getting better and better at these live reads. And thank God that was a short one.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that was definitely a short one. All right. So I am going to open my book. What did you think of that chapter?
Well, as always, tons of stuff. I've already talked about the part with Brienne that I really, really liked. Mm-hmm. But also the attempted escape for Sir Jaime, that the reason why that's why they were being hanged. It's like, whoa. Because at first I remember when she when she saw the bodies hanging, she was very concerned because she's like, oh, great. Now I'm never going to see my daughters alive. She was afraid that perhaps they had also hanged Jaime.
Right.
But
right.
turns out, no, that wasn't the case. And I'm like, dang. And that's also considered really uncool,
right,
in war and stuff, because they were envoys, if I recall correctly. And but then again, all's fair in love and war, so there.
Wait a minute. Say that again. So what do you mean?
Oh, the guys that tried to break him out, like they had come, I think, as envoys or on some other pretext that.
Right.
And that's why they were in there.
Yes.
And
yes. Okay.
So they kind of broke that.
Right. Absolutely. They broke that trust, which is not as well, it was a plan by Tyrion because everything, like you just said, is all fair in love and war. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think there was any customs, but like in the North, if there was customs granted, as we know, things like that become a big deal. Some of the more interesting stuff in that chapter is a difference from book to show, which is humongous. If I'm remembering the show right, is that it's Edmure who sends Roose Bolton to take Harrenhal, not Robb. So, in the show, they make it seem like Robb trusted him and sent him there to take that seat back. But it was actually her brother who sent him there, even though Catelyn says to the point where like they were supposed to stay there to keep kind of Walder Frey on the right path. And actually, Roose actually married his daughter, one of his daughters, Fat Walda. So and one of the reasons we'll find out later is, I think Walder Frey said, I'll give you any of my daughter's weight in gold. So he took the biggest one.
Yeah.
One of those things. So, Edmure's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's looking for glory or thinks he's better than he is, but, they play him as a fool in the show, even though that actor's fantastic. I don't know. What do you think of Edmure?
Well, Edmure, he's a guy from Outlander, right?
Mm-hmm. Is he from Outlander? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he played Hank.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I think the TV show kind of made him out to be a bit of a buffoon.
Yes, very much.
I didn't get that impression this time, but then again, we just started it. So,
right. So he might let's just say he might make mistakes, but I don't know if a buffoon, I mean, the first time you see him in the show, they make sure to show you him trying to shoot the arrow because she goes to her father's whatever. And he can't do it. But yeah, that's one, like we meet him way before that. Her father's still alive. And then the whole part with like, him being sick. And I didn't realize Jon Arryn was, I think, 20 years older than like her father or something like that.
Yeah, like, he was an old dude.
Yeah, I didn't realize Jon Arryn was that old.
Yeah.
But he starts having like fever dreams. So, and there's some important stuff in those fever dreams that come up later. What did you think of the river run type stuff? Catelyn seeing her father, things you heard.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The fever dream, if I heard it correctly, sorry, I listened to it.
Take your, oh no, that's whatever way you could do it.
On Audible.
Yeah, whatever way.
That Lysa had some other dude, because he was like, forget about so-and-so. So she had someone that she loved, it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, that's what it does sound like, because, of course, he thinks it's her. There's something else he says, and I'm trying to find, I hope I'm in the right chapter. I'm trying to find the actual breakdown of what they talk about.
Does he say the seed is strong?
No.
No.
But he does reference like an herb or a plant, and that's something important that you need to remember for later.
Oh.
And I really don't know. Edmure Robb left those men to hold. Yeah. Okay. So hold on. I apologize, but it is important to find this. He thinks, okay, here we go. It was best, her father whispered. John's a good man, good, strong, kind. Take care of you. He will. And well born. Listen to me. You must. I'm your father. You'll wed when Cat does. You will. So he thinks I'm Liza. Her father's hands clutched her at hers, fluttering like two frightened white birds. That stripling, wretched boy, not speak that name to me. Your duty, your mother, she would. Lord Holster cried as a spasm of pain washed over him. Oh, gods, forgive me, forgive me, my medicine. Crud, where is it? He makes a reference to a herb. If you're wrong, if anybody remembers the herb he makes a reference to, please let me know. I swear it was in this one. Okay, I might be wrong. I'm sorry about that. I thought he made the reference to an herb that we will learn about down, and I don't know if it's this one. Yes. It's the moon tea. Yes. Okay. And Marby Dog says Peter Baelish. So I don't know it's kind of, we try to not do spoilers here, but a lot of people saw the show. Liza, Peter had a thing for Cat. Liza had a thing for Peter. There's some, Peter tells everyone he slept with a Cat. Cat definitely didn't sleep with her, so somebody did, right? Now, do you know what moon tea is?
I'm hoping it's something that's really awesome.
Yes, it's not. So tansy. Yes, it's tansy tea. It causes the body to abort.
Oh,
we'll just say yes. So that's a big thing he's letting out there. So something happened a long time. Now we haven't found out what tansy tea is. Sorry. I know, guys, I try to do it spoiler free, but that's a big one that I can't not let you remember. I can't let you forget that one.
Oh, because I'm trying to figure out who would have, unless it was Lysa. Was she pregnant?
It could have been. Yeah. I'm going to let you think about that. But but when he says it, it's like tansy. And I always thought it was a name at first, like somebody, that's the way George writes. He drops this little clue that you don't think much about and then pays it off later. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's see. What else did we have in this one? I do like what you brought up before, the Brienne pledging herself to Cat. And it's a beautiful pledge. If I could find it, I was hoping they had it in there, but was that towards the beginning of the chapter again? I love how they both have to say. The tall girl knelt awkwardly, unsheathed Renly's longsword, and laid it at her feet. Then I am yours, my lady, your liege man, or whatever you would have me to be. I will shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods and the new. And I vow, this Cat, I vow that you shall always have a place by my hearth and meat and mead at my table, and pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you into dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise. And it's a world of no true knights, and it seems like vows are really kind of like they just say them, but this one feels special when you hear it.
Yeah, it's very poetic.
It's powerful too. It's like, that Brienne only wanted to serve Renly, and she will not serve Robb because she doesn't know the man, but she will swear her sword to her. And she's a very strong, powerful woman in a world of men. And Catelyn doesn't want her to, like, I almost think Catelyn does it because she doesn't want her to get hurt. But the truth of the matter, she has one of the best fighters in the world, you know, on her side. Nick McCabe, everybody. Check out Nick. Good man. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yes, I do have a Facebook page, everybody, for my Sporking News podcast. You guys could definitely follow me there. That'd be cool. I don't know if it's a group or a page. I don't know anything. I am so far behind. The woman runs a brothel in the Riverlands is also named Tansy. You're absolutely right. And that comes up. So you think that's who. Now, is he talking about her getting the tea, or is the plant the actual tea? You know, like, that's a good one, man. I totally forgot about that. The Time Prophet's in the house. She is an oath keeper. That was good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What else do we have, guys? And thank you, Time Prophet. Oh, you're not on Facebook. That's fine, man. No worries on that. Brienne was with Renly when he was killed as but we have no part in his death. She did not care to speak of the shadow. Here in the open with men all around, she would have waved a hand at the bodies. We are these men, who are the, you know, like, she didn't want to put it out there because people are going to think she's nuts. You know, magic hasn't been around in a really long time. And I think this is something that ties in more into the Dany chapter 2. Yeah. It's like magic is coming back, right? Yes.
I did catch that. Yes.
Right. There was also another one. She talks about her throat or something. I thought that was kind of, something to remember in the future. We also see a couple people that will be important later on. So Robb won his battles against worse odds. So once again, her brother's looking for glory. So he's capable, but he's headstrong because he wants to win glory. And when she asks him, when all my strength is marshaled, I should have 8,000 foot and 3,000 horse, Edmure said. A good team. Which means Lord Tywin will have near twice your numbers. So he's a lot more. Robb's won his battles against worse odds, Edmure replied, and I have a plan. You've forgotten Roose Bolton. Lord Tywin defeated him on the Green Fork, but failed to pursue. When Lord Tywin went to Harrenhal, Bolton took the Ruby Ford and the Crossroads. He had 10,000 men. I've sent word to Helman Tallheart to join him with the garrison Robb left at Twins. Edmure, Robb left those men to hold the Twins and make sure Lord Walder keeps faith with us. He has. The Freys fought bravely in the Whispering Woods, and the old Sir Stervos died at Oak's Cross, we hear. Sir Ryman and Black Walder and the rest are with Robb in the west. Martin has been of great service scouting, and Sir Perwyn helped see you safely to Renly. You know, those Freys are everywhere.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think, well, because they make so many of them.
They really do. He has so many sons, grandsons, daughters, you know, great-grandchildren. But he's making, the problem with Edmure is he wants to make his own plans instead of following his king, because his king is his nephew.
Yep.
You know? Repercussions may happen. Now, he brings up Roose Bolton losing to Tywin on the fork. But if you look at the casualties, Roose didn't lose much. It was every other lord, Glover and other lords there that lost of the North that lost a lot of soldiers. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So let's see, Matt. What's up, Matt? I like the way magic is handled. That is old AF and hasn't been used in a long time. Yeah, I do too. Are you, Teresa, what are your feelings like when it comes to magic in fantasy? Are you a person that loves just like, if it follows the rules of that world, just magic everywhere? Or do you like it on like a more level playing field or less, like, you know, in the background? How do you like your magic?
Yeah, I would say my magic. Sorry.
Your magic.
How do you like your magic? Do you like it with cream or
I did
sugar?
say that. I did say that.
I like it more like the Lord of the Rings kind of magic, where it's just barely there. And I know that, well, Martin seems to be definitely inspired by Tolkien in that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that. Sorry. I mean, think of Gandalf. Mm-hmm. Like, really, how much magic does he use throughout the story?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Maybe lighting the way or something like that, or when he fights the Balrog, but like really he doesn't use magic you see that much. Mm-hmm. And then you have other ones that magic is, the elements and they use it whichever way they want. But I do love the understated way that magic is coming back into this world. But what else? Anything else you noticed in this one?
Well, just the lovely scene with her and Ned's bones. I mean, it's her husband, and the fact that she wanted to keep vigil with him all night. Mm-hmm. Very poignant, because no matter how we feel about her, she and Ned did truly love each other.
They came to love each other. You're absolutely right. What gets me too is right away she thinks it's Cersei that did it. I can't, grateful Cersei returned him, but it was actually Tyrion.
Yes.
And, even then she's like, I'll repay them all, like Tyrion has done nothing to her to garnish, like, just because I believe she believed that he was involved with, her son's, fall. Yeah. Even when she found out the truth, she still harbors all this hatred for him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to put my thoughts into hers because I'm not sure they said so, but perhaps could it be that he outwitted her by the combat?
It could be.
Yeah, the Eyrie, and so she's just holding a grudge.
And she might, I think she still believes he was involved in it, so, it's, that makes sense. I didn't really think of it that way. Do you like your magic with fire? So I like my magic. If I could be a magician, like a true wizard, I would totally be one. Magic also has to have consequences, like in the 7 Voyages of Sinbad, or like in the Wheel of Time saga, I was told. I've read part of one and I got to get back into that. Time profit consequences. There's a toll when you are a conduct for a kind of power. Yeah. I mean, we will see that coming around the corner. But there is, literally, how much magic have we really seen in this world? Not much. Mm-hmm. We open up, and George does it beautifully. He opens up the book series with the others fighting someone in the woods, like one of the most magical beings in the show, in the book series, and we haven't seen any of them since. And then at the very end of that book, we have dragons born, and then we have a little bit of magic in between. It's very, it's interesting how he does it. Mm-hmm. I like it. But anything else with this chapter that caught you? I like the Ned's bones. I've totally blanked on that. Remember to keep an eye on Ned's bones. Seriously, remember to think about Ned's bones every time you read it and they talk about it. Remember that.
Okay. Yeah. Remember the bones.
Remember the bones. I also like when they get the news. They get the news about Stannis going after Storm's End and for the Edric Storm, and she makes a comment like, all this trouble for, a bastard, pretty much, a common born. And I thought that was interesting because of the way she also treats Jon. She feels that way now about all these people. Anybody bastard born. She just can't let go, can she?
No.
Yep. I thought I would have that. Catelyn Roan, cheers. Oh, and I love how they were cheering Tully and Stark as she rode in. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We'll keep an eye on all this stuff. There's probably a ton that I'm missing in this chapter. These are the chapters like he is definitely packing a lot of in. Oh, right here we go. So after talking about Sir Courtney Penrose and He won't yield it for the boy. She thinks he risks all for a base-born boy whose blood is not even his own. Catelyn thought. Did you send him an answer? So in her mind, like, why are you doing it? Like, that is a base-born bastard.
And no, she's dumber than a rock, isn't she? Because she herself even knows that the children are not true heirs of the Baratheons. So, of course they would want to have the base-born son of Robert Baratheon.
Right, because think about it. If he never has a son, he would probably name him the heir.
Yes.
You know, it is his brother's bastard, but it's his brother's blood, you know, and it's a highborn bastard. So it's one of only two, I believe, Robert ever admits to and claims as his own, which, you know, he had like 16 or 17 of them. So I thought that was pretty good too. Other than that, we can move on to the next if you're ready. All right. Let me just get my book page to the right page and we will do this. I always like to remember how it ends, though, that chapter. The women in gray bowed their heads. The silent sisters do not speak to the living, Catelyn remembered dully. But some say they can talk to the dead, and how she envied that. Remember that. That quote is so awesome. Oh. I mean, I can't talk about it, but, like, just remember, like, Catelyn envies these silent sisters, these women who do not talk, because she believes they can speak to the dead, but not to actual living people. Yeah, just remember that. That's a good one. All right. So let me get to the next one. Let's share this right here. Thank you guys, everybody, for all the support. Tina's still lurking. We're keeping a Tina watch going. She is still lurking with us. Everybody's still here. Shane, the Time Prophet. Thank you guys. Marby Dog, Jacob, all you guys. Matt, I really appreciate it. All right, here we go. All right. So this is Dany 3. It's only Dany's 3rd chapter, which is nuts to me. So Daenerys relates to Xaro Zohan Daxos, how the pureborn have denied her. Despite all the customary bribes and traditional proceedings she followed, Daenerys' hopes of obtaining ships and men from the pureborn was in vain, and now she has to move on. The pureborn are interested only in her dragons, not in her cause. She again besieges Xaro for ships, but the merchant prince tells her he has no warships. He asks her again to marry him, and she again refuses. She considers going to the warlocks for aid, and again Xaros warns her not to. As they move through the marketplace, Dany witnesses a fire mage make a ladder of fire and climb it into the sky. As cup purses move through the astonished crowd, Xaro declares the feat a fine trick, but Quaithe appears and tells them it was no trick. The Shadowbinder tells Dany that half a year ago the men could scarcely make even a small fire appear, but his power has grown now, and all because of Dany, the mother of dragons. Quaithe warns, you must leave the city soon, or you will never be permitted to leave it at all. Dany realizes that Quaithe wants her to go to Ashai, and when she asks why, the Shadowbinder tells her it is there she will find truth. Her Kaz warn her not to trust the Ashai Shadowbinder, and Xaro concurs. Later, Ser Jorah tells her she will find no help in this city. He explains why Xaro wants to marry her. During a Carthian wedding ceremony, the bride and groom each ask one thing for each other that the other cannot refuse. Ser Jorah is convinced that Xaro plans to obtain one of her dragons in this way. He tells her she should go east, but not to Ashai. When Dany suggests returning west to Illyrio, I can never say his name, Jorah warns her that the magistrate cares only for himself and would provide no help. Dany believes he will give her the ships and soldiers to retake Westeros, but Jorah states nothing knits a broken realm together so quick as an invading army on its soil. He reminds her that the man was sent to her to kill her when Robert Baratheon heard that she was pregnant, and fears what might happen when word spreads of her dragons. Dany wonders why the comet led her to Qarth, if not to obtain ships and an army, and Ser Jorah implores her to go to Pyat Preet for help. Dun, dun, dun. All right, what did you think?
Well, as usual, I'm despising these Dany chapters with every fiber of my being.
Right. And why is that?
Well, I'm feeling like, enough already. For frick's sake, I want to get back to the Kings. I want to get back to the Clash of the Kings. And the Dany ones are incredibly slow and don't seem to really be going anywhere.
They are slow burns. I'll give you that. They are definitely slow burns.
Yeah.
What'd you take away, though?
Well, what I took away, because I was told to pay attention, is that there was something significant about the magic part. That lady with the mask, that something was happening there.
Quaithe. Quaithe is, and let's not forget, she's a Shadowbinder. And we met another Shadowbinder already in this story, and that was Jayne Theory. No.
Yay, Jayne Theory!
What's up, Jayne?
Oh, nothing much.
How are you?
That was perfect timing.
I know, that was perfect. We just finished the cat chapter. I don't know if you had a chance to read this week, but do you have anything to say about the cat chapter before?
I did. Let me remember. Okay, so I don't like Catelyn.
No.
That's no shocker.
No.
But I did love this particular the back and forth between her and Brienne. I felt that was it was more Brienne centered, and I liked the relationship that was formed or forged in that moment. I think they both grew a little bit and saw each other's perspective.
Right.
So I thought it was sweet.
Yeah. We read their vows. Like, in a world where knights aren't true knights, this vow seems special.
It did.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that scene.
But something I caught that I like to read like the last paragraph now of every chapter, and the last paragraph on this one is. She's talking, she just is sitting with Ned's bones, and she's with the Silent Sisters. The woman in gray bowed their heads. The Silent Sisters do not speak to the living. Catelyn remembered dully, but some say they can talk to the dead, and how she envied that.
Wow.
Think about like what she goes through later on. She can't, they can't speak, but maybe they could speak to the dead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My little ones are down here to say goodnight. How about Teresa? You start talking about the chapter I'm just blanking now. The chapter we just, there's a hand.
Baby.
There's another hand. Say goodnight, girls. Just scream to goodnight.
Good night. Sleep tight.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, cute. So adorable. I was just saying how I'm not too fond of the Dany chapters, but I did catch some of the magic stuff with that shadow binder.
Yeah. I think part of her chapter was focusing on her practicing ruling, I guess, and making decisions on her own, and learning who to trust and who not to trust and what to question and things like that. It was kind of boring for me. But it's politics, basically, is what we experienced with that chapter, I think.
Yeah.
Which one? Dany we're talking about? Okay. Go ahead, Teresa.
And we can see the manipulation, the efforts at manipulation, and, but this is, you want to be a ruler. This is what you're going to encounter. People trying to take advantage of you. You have to make smart decisions.
Right. You know what's interesting, though? Qarth is so different than everywhere else. It is not like a lineage class.
Right.
It's a merchant class that runs it. It's all about, weighing your, pros and cons. And right now, Dany doesn't pros aren't outweighed. It's the cons that outweigh the pros.
Yeah.
So they're making, decisions, but she's more emotional about it. Yeah.
She's still learning though.
Yes, she is.
So that's part of it. And this is good practice.
Yep. And then you have that the fire bender that climbs a ladder into the sky, and you get Quaithe. Quaithe comes out, the masked Shadowbinder, and like tells her that they could barely do it. And I'm trying to find the quote. So if you guys want to keep talking about it, I'll find you the quote.
Yeah, I feel like there's just gradually pulling back the veil on that world just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that I think we're beginning to see at this point too in the story magic becoming much more prominent and just supernatural abilities and supernatural things arising. And I love how over the course of the story, it sort of increases, intensifies in each and every story and with each main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slowly unfolding.
Slowly.
But I found her chapter boring.
Yeah, I did too.
There's some good stuff in it. Like, it's just, Dany in this book was, what I was saying at the very beginning, Jane, was, so the second season, Dany doesn't have a lot of chapters in this book. And in the second season, they stretched it out, but yet they didn't add everything, which, I think she was there for like 7 episodes and they still didn't fit everything in there. And I know certain things wouldn't have worked, but come on. I'm trying to find, doesn't she say
like the inner dialogue too?
Yeah. Her thinking.
Yeah.
Does she say you got to go east thing?
I can't remember.
I'm trying to find that.
Yeah.
You will not get help in this city. Oh, that's Ser Jorah. I'm trying to remember if this is the chapter we get her saying that Quaithe. I do like going within her monologue. So she's talking to Quaithe and here you go. To go north, you must journey south. To reach the west, you must go east. To go forward, you must go back. And to touch the light, you must pass beneath the shadow. Ashai, Dany thought. She would have me go to Ashai. Will the Ashai give me an army? She demanded. Will there be gold for me in Ashai? Will there be ships? What is there in Ashai that I will not find in Qarth? Truth, said the woman in the mask, and bowing, she faded back into the crowd. She's pretty mysterious. And there's so many theories about who Quaithe is.
There are.
Oh my God, so many. My question is this. So we have been, and this is, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to say a spoiler here. We've been set up with that one quote with Dany's journey. That one quote means a lot. And we find out from George last year, I believe, or maybe even 2 years ago now, that he is no longer going to have anybody physically go to Ashai, that it's going to be somebody's like flashback to Ashai. Mostly, it won't be somebody physically there, which it's either going to be like someone like Quaithe having a flashback or Melisandre, but like the whole books are based on Dany going east instead of west first. You know what I mean? Right. And I mean, it could be, kind of where the show went. She could have to go to the Mother of the Mountain back with the Dothraki first, but the whole Ashai, I was like so looking forward to Ashai, and I guess I've heard that he's not doing it.
Honestly, what throws me off about her entire story now is when someone brought up, why wouldn't she just wait?
Right.
Until the dragons are bigger?
Right.
It's like, that kind of threw me for a loop because I hadn't really thought about that before. But yeah, like you could save yourself all of this trouble, let the dragons grow up.
Right.
And then just take all of it.
Like find a safe place.
Yeah.
And I don't think Qarth is the safe place.
No.
But, maybe find some little village that you can regroup, let them grow. Because they grow pretty fast.
They
But
do. Especially when they're in the wild,
Right. Like, because the show didn't do them justice. I want to show you a picture. So that's, okay, that is a shy, which is dope. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Dragonstone. My bad. I want to show you a picture of the Black Dread with Aegon on his back. Because there is a big difference. Okay. They might have changed it. There was one picture where he just looks so freaking huge. I might be wrong, but here, let's go here. It's, it's going to take, 50
he was
years.
Massive.
Yeah. The Balerion was humongous. Like, there are some pictures that make this one look like a dwarf, but like, look how small. I guess they got this big in the show. I've seen ones where he was even much bigger, but it's going to take a few years before they can get there. I think you're absolutely right. Find someplace safe, stay out of people's BS, train with your dragons, form a bond with your dragons, and then go take over Westeros, because no one will stop you.
Right.
You know?
Do what your ancestors did. It's simple.
Right. I never even thought of it that way. Yeah, and you're right. It's interesting. Karth is like, I don't know if it's like Rome, but it's like Carthage maybe, or like, like Alexandria. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this, city of knowledge, and city where pretty much it's democracy in a way. It's capitalism. And she is just like with these baby dragons trying to force the subject. And there is a part where she thinks about her brother being the beggar king, and she thinks back and finally can understand why he was so frustrated. I thought that was kind of interesting. I also like the one boob look.
But see, this is the thing I don't understand the direction they at least were initially taking with the sequel or prequel projects. Mm-hmm. They didn't understand initially how much we wanted to see the East. Right. And how much we wanted to see the rest of the world. Right. And I think with the new stories they've introduced that are heading in that direction, the one with that's going to be basically sea voyages, I forget what it's called. And then the one focusing on Dorne, but the travel to Dorne,
Right, the 10,000 ships.
Exactly. Yep. It's going to give us a look into the rest of the world.
Oh, definitely.
And so that we can explore it, because that's we've seen Westeros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Show us what else is out there.
Like, and you know what? The Dance of Dragons, like, that's really cool because you have like almost 20 dragons.
Yeah.
But like, okay, we've seen the dragons. I want to see Nymeria and her before she even thinks of traveling in the 10,000 ships, because like there's that battle between the Rhoynar and the Valyrians that was massive. Like the largest land army of all time against 100 freaking dragon lords, like, and water wizards, and like I think that would be dope. Like, I am looking forward to that. And I really hope he finishes these goddamn books.
Well,
he's going to finish the books.
Right. So Marby says the origins of the Targaryen bloodline is in the East. There is a Empire of the Dawn. Are you saying you believe it's that, or just the Valyrians in general? Yeah, Garon the Great is that massive army for the for Nymeria's people. She was like a leader too, but and when that show comes on, I'd like us to do like a breakdown of that story, because her recollection, like the history books tell her side of it, but it's so weird. Like her travels, like she goes like up the map, down the map, across the map to places like, and supposedly only have women and children, but yet the slavers don't take anybody, like just really weird stuff that happens. So I kind of want to go over that. That's an interesting story in general, the Dornish and her. I don't know, but I'm sorry. I digress.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So anything else with this chapter that caught your eye?
Not so much.
I can't stand that Zorro guy.
He is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And manipulative.
Like, what's crazy is the guy in the show was more likable than this guy.
That's true. He sort of gave him a bit more of a personality. But
Right.
I think the thing about this character is he's so the sweet talking and the way he
They're all fake.
It's all fake.
Well, is it?
It's all an act.
It was this chapter they talk about like the tears, like it's for the rich. It's like impresses others if you could cry and show your emotions, and like he has mastered the one tear. Like
you should have wept.
Yes,
like,
right,
dude.
Like, how dumb was he? Didn't he think that Daenerys would find out about the trade that they would do on their wedding day?
Marriage thing.
Well, right, like she wouldn't ask any questions before saying yes, you know, like I don't know. That
well, I mean, he told her one version of the law. He didn't tell her the other side. So she probably did ask.
Right.
He just lied.
Right.
And then, Jorah's like, no, he didn't tell you this other part.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And so he underestimated the fact that she might get a second opinion or talk to someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Dumber than a rock on that sense.
You know, another thing I like, Sir Jorah put it perfectly. Like, Dany wants to be riches so she can get sellswords and this and that. And he's like, nothing knits a broken realm together so quickly as an invading army on their soil. And she's like, but I am but I'm the rightful queen. So it's really in Karsh she starts believing it. And you are a stranger who means to land on their shores with an army of outlanders who cannot even speak the common tongue. The lords of Westeros do not know you and have every reason to fear and mistrust you. You must win them over before you sail, a few at least.
Good advice.
Real good advice. Have we seen? I mean, spoilers, but have we? And don't go into it. But have we seen that yet?
Him giving her good advice?
No, her actually.
Her listening.
Take her listen. Yeah.
It might be a first.
Yeah.
Marby Dog calls him. He is an evil Liberace. That's exactly how.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
That's awesome. That is so great.
It's awesome because it's true.
It is so true. There is two other things I wanted to bring up. They talked about her gown, the one-breasted one. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember where that is, but they talk about the colors. And I meant to check this before, but it's like pearl and something and something. And I wonder, because a lot of the times, like when Dany had her vision. Oh, wait a minute. We're not there yet. So I'm going to
I know there's black and white pearls around the waist.
Yeah, I'm going to stop that until she does something else. I'll just remind me.
The outfit.
Yeah, it won't be that important until once we get to her visions. But so the last chapter in this one is Dragon was curled up beneath her arm, hot as a stone that he has soaked all day in the blazing sun. Rhaegal and Viserion were fighting over a scrap of meat, buffeting each other with their wings as smoke hissed from their nostrils. My curious children, she thought, they must not come to harm. The comet led me to Karth for a reason. I had hoped to find my army here, but it seems that will not be. What else remains? I ask myself. I am afraid, she realizes, but I must be brave. Come the morrow, you must go to Pirate Preet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there we are.
Yeah. And they write that as Jorah says that last part. I mean, even the synopsis says, which that's why I was kind of rereading that. The synopsis says Jorah does that, but I feel like it's her talking to herself. Come the morrow, you must go to Pirate Preet. So, I don't know. But next up, we got the Tyrion chapter. Yep. I need a sip of something. I have nothing to drink. Oh, my God. All right, I'm going to try to do this. All right, let's see here. Let me share that again. Okay. All right, so this is Tyrion 9. The royal family and their retainers are at the docks to see Princess Marcella off to Dorne. Tyrion is sending Aerys Oakheart, with her as her sworn shield, Prince Doran Martell has promised to move his banners into the high passes once Myrcella is safely at Sunspear. Tyrion knows one of Cersei's secrets, how she is consorting with the unsavory hedge knight Osmond Kettleblack and his brothers in order to raise her own force of sellswords. What the queen doesn't know is that Bronn is matching every copper she gives the Kettleblacks. Thus, Sir Osmond is really one of Tyrion's men. On the ride back to Maegor's Holdfest, things get out of hand when someone in the crowd hits Joffrey in the face with dung. That's crap, everybody. And the king sends the hound to deal with the perpetrator. The crowd frenzy due to lack of food and the harsh living conditions boils over and begins to trample the procession. Sensing what is about to happen, Tyrion screams for them to ride hard for the gates of the Holdfast. In the mad rush, several members are lost, and by the time Tyrion reaches the safety of the gate, their lives are in doubt. As Joffrey is ranting about traitors and how they attacked him, Tyrion dismounts and slaps him so hard his crown flies off, and then shoves him to the ground, shouting, "You set your dogs on them. What do you imagine they would do?" Tyrion commands Sir Boros and Sir Meryn to return and find Sansa and those missing. And when the two Kingsguard balk, Cersei begins to berate them as well for their cowardice. Sansa returns, saved by Sandor Clegane, who is covered in blood. Meanwhile, a fire has broken out in the city, and Tyrion can see the fear in the Hound's eyes when he commands the men to go and put the fire out. Later it is discovered that Preston Greenfield, Aeron Santargar, and the High Septon lost their lives. Lady Tanda's daughter Lolly is found alive, having been raped by 50 men outside a tanner's shop, and Tyrion's cousin Tariq is missing. Tyrion wants his cousin found mostly because the boy's father, Tyget, was always kind to Tyrion. He is dismayed to learn from Jocelyn Bywater that many of the city watch and the common folk consider Tyrion the problem in the city and would revolt given the chance. Later, Bronn remarks while Varys is in the room that things would be a lot easier if Tommen were king. Tyrion understands this as a hint that Bronn thinks Joffrey should be killed. Dun, dun, dun. All right, what do you ladies think?
Well, I've said earlier that I really enjoyed this chapter. And what an idiot that stupid Joffrey didn't notice a big mob was coming and would do exactly what they did. They tore everyone apart.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely. And real quick, I'm sorry. Shane, you hit the nail on the head. I believe that too. It's all about him wanting the dragons. He totally has the boys coming out of his tent and stuff. Forgot to say that about Zaro, Dakos, Tacos. The kid's a moron. He's a psychopath. You know, he gets hit in the head with a piece of crap and sends his hound to kill people. Yeah. No wonder they all defended themselves, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing too. Not to get into Falcon and Winter Soldier, but this book set up the pretense for a riot a whole lot better.
No.
By making us
Stop that. Stop that. We totally understood why Carly was doing whatever they were doing.
So much story.
So much heart. So much heart.
Hey, Jen. I mean, it was just like...
Yeah.
It was like, what do you not see that these people hate you and for good reason because you're a complete idiot?
Right.
But on top of that, his mother, Cersei, and what she said kind of started this too when they were looking at the lady with the baby.
Right.
And she made this really smart, slick remark that the mother heard.
Right.
That was the last straw.
Yeah, it was something just wrong, too. What was that again?
Oh, it was so...
I'll try to find it, because, yeah, you're right. That was so wrong.
I mean, the lady's sitting there with her, literally with her dead baby.
That's it, right.
Above her head.
Oh, that's so...
Like, yeah, that's the time to say something snarky.
Yeah.
Right. And George just does not balk at showing us the worst of what can happen, you know? Mm-hmm. This truly is like an anti-war novel. Everything is just just horrible. If you think about it, it's not like the glorious knight returns. It's like just horrible things happen to, and the people that pay most are the common folk.
Yeah. And the fact that I love how there was this period during which they were each shouting a champion, like a side in the battle, a side in the war. And then it came down to the real thing that they really cared about, and that was food.
Right.
They're starving. They don't care really who's the king, who's elected, who's, who takes over, whatever. Right. What matters is that they have to feed their children. They have to feed their families. And these people could care less.
Right. Hey, Shane, I don't know. Yeah, you have Twitter, or even in the chat, send me the link to what the theory is, because I'm blanking on it at the moment. Yeah, that poor girl gets raped 50 times.
I'm surprised she lived.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And you think she's just random, but there is, she comes up later on. It's kind of a big deal. And then, the Hound, like you see it in the show, him come and save Sansa, but like here we just see blood all over him and him bringing her back. Like he was not like, as, who put it the best? Someone put, Marby Dog, the Hound's redemption begins. Like he, instead of being with his king, he went and saved that girl.
But I think we had seen a little bit of that over time. He always had a soft spot for her for some reason.
Of course.
And here, what was so beautiful about it was that she was not going to be harmed. As long as he lived, like he was going, you knew that he was going to have her.
Right.
And when he came through with her, that was freaking epic.
Right. And it's like, he should have been by the king's side protecting him. And what he thought about was protecting Sansa. So like, you really see it right there. That's awesome.
And I love how Tyrion too saw the political side to it. They lose her.
Yeah.
His brother's dead.
Yeah.
Like immediately. Yeah. So
why do you oh yeah, Jaime, yeah, he's done for. Yeah, absolutely. And even shockingly that she doesn't have any clout for getting him back either. It's just, you better not kill her, or yeah, he's definitely dead.
Yeah. And I'm surprised Cersei didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't, she didn't even think about Sansa either. And it's just, do you really love Jaime, or what has this relationship been about?
Right. Dude, again, the show and the fantastic acting by oh god, I'm blanking on her name, who plays Cersei. I love
Leona
her too.
Headley.
Yeah. Leona Headley, like she gives Cersei a heart where in the books you do not see that at all. No. She's really just a jealous, resentful woman that wishes she was born a man, because she really believes she's her father's equal.
Self-absorbed and delusional.
Right. There, I like when they find out about, what happened to the Septon and stuff. Is that said in this chapter? I forget.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that he was basically torn
apart.
alive.
Yeah, he was like torn apart.
Yeah.
And how they one of the things I thought was really cool was how I think it was the gold cloaks were falling to the wave of like the mob. Like you could observe them, like two of them pulled out their long swords or what have you, and then just disappeared in the crowd.
We say that one more time. I'm sorry.
They were surrounded
by
the guards, and there was this, when the crowd started to come forward, when they started to rush them, you could see in the description of what was happening, the soldiers falling and being absorbed by the crowd. Right. And you could just, George does such a great job of putting you in the scene that you could feel, like you can imagine the panic that you would feel if you're in that position when that's happening and you're just sitting on a horse.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like in the second the Hunger Games, when she goes in for that second time in that mist, like it reminds me like they're engulfed. They're just like the swarm has gotten you. The riptide pulled you back. You're screwed. You are screwed. She is great. Judge Dredd is underrated. She was great in that. She was awesome in that. Judge Dredd is underrated. Him not taking off his helmet the whole movie was freaking awesome. Carl rocks. Yeah, I hope I've been wanting a sequel to that so bad. I don't see Stallone taking off the helmet all the time. Just, I'm sorry, no way. Yeah, but I understand why, Time Prophet, because let me do this. You're old. Okay. Just playing, buddy. Just playing. I thought that would be funnier. Okay. Let's see. So, luckily Marcella, gets off and we find out a little bit more about, this truce they'll have once she gets there. They'll move people into the passes in Dorne. So that's like Storm's End, because the Stormlands and Dorne touch each other, and through the pass is the only way into Dorne. So if they bring men up there, that blocks Stannis going south at all. So, go ahead. No, please.
I was going to say, I loved how we saw a bit of her personality too, her strength. She knew what to say. She knew how to carry herself, and she had to have been scared, but she didn't cry. She
Sansa you're talking about? No, Marcella, right.
Marcella, yeah.
Yes,
she was a true princess. Which was awesome.
It is. I do like that, like, Tyrion doubts himself a bit. Perhaps my Lord Father was right to despise me all these years, if this is the best I can achieve. Tyrion thought when he was alone. He stared down at the remains of his supper, his belly rolling at the sight, or rolling, at the sight of the cold, greasy capon. I can't read tonight. Disgusted, he pushed it away, shouted for Pod, and sent the boy running to summon Varys and Bronn. My most trusted advisors are a eunuch and a sellsword, and my lady's a whore. What does that say of me? I just love how George just, like, the doubt. Tyrion, like, in some moments he is just, there is no doubt. He knows the game. He knows what he's playing. But in those quiet times, like, you see that little boy who thought he was going to marry for love, and what happened back then really scarred him.
But this was also after he was told that the people hate him the most. Right. It's like after everything he's done.
Exactly. And he's done so much. And I love how he really, like, we got to find Tyreek. He's no more than a boy, son to my late uncle. His father was always kind to me. Like, just because he was kind to him. Like, I'm going to find him. And Shane says it right here because I asked him about it. The boy and its appeared, it was similar. Like, his disappearance, like, we haven't seen, I'm sorry, but I don't remember ever hearing about him again. So,
I don't either.
Right? I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah. So again, I'll read like the last chapters or last paragraphs. This is a little different. There was only one way Tommen would become king. No, he could not even think it. Joffrey was his own blood and Jaime's son as much as Cersei's. I could have your head off for saying that, he told Bronn. But the sellsword only laughed. Friends, said Varys, quarreling will not serve us. I beg you both, take heart. Whose? Asked Tyrion sourly. He could think of several tempting choices. He's fired up.
Yeah.
So can you just imagine, like, like medieval anywhere, let's just say even take our times, like even today, society, as we have been seeing this summer, society's held on by a thread, and it just takes one spark for the people to realize that they don't have to put up with bullshit anymore, and they rather fight and die than be oppressed. And like, to be in this city right now and everybody else seeming oblivious except for, like, a Varys, a Bronn, and mostly Tyrion, is kind of like, your king is a moron. Oh shit.
Yeah. And civilizations fall. kingdoms fall, and usually it's because of this. It's, the corruption, the disregarding the people, and I think sometimes the high and mighty forget that the only reason they are where they are is because the people allow it.
Yeah.
That's absolute. That's absolute. Teresa, you have anything else to add?
Well, just how harrowing this whole chapter was, and how it truly was a traumatic event for everyone.
Right.
I mean, people were killed. The women were raped. Sansa likely was almost raped. And it's not a game. And I loved it. I loved it when Tyrion just hit Joffrey so hard his crown knocked off. I mean, that was beautiful.
That was wonderful.
And I gotta
get hit more.
Yeah, he really does. And I gotta say, in the show, like, that was perfect too. Like, that kid that played him, Jack, I forget his full name, but the kid who played the king is just, Joffrey is just, he's priceless. Like, he plays the role of a psychotic, power-hungry king, and then just like a little bitch boy, like it's fantastic. And just the way you read it in this, it's perfectly done in the show too.
But it's just so weird to me how he's, even after this, it still didn't click. But like you said, he's psychotic,
right? Yeah, he really isn't. I mean, who's to blame for that? First of all, he's a child of incest. Second, his father never wanted him around. His mother babied him and allowed him to believe whatever. He always wanted to prove himself to his father. Like, it's nature or nurture, man. They created him.
They did.
They created a monster.
They did.
Literally.
And
having Tyrion think how Tommen could become king.
Right. And for Bronn just to say that. Like, that's
He's right. He could have had his head for that.
He should have.
Yeah.
He should have had his head for that, but Bronn knew. Like, even with Varys in the room, Bronn knew. They were all thinking that.
We all were thinking, yeah.
I love the way that Bronn gives 0 Fs. He just says it.
That's awesome. I'm sorry. Go on.
That's why I don't believe that he's just a know-nothing sellsword. Like, I believe he has a backstory.
Oh, hell yes.
And the fact that they emphasize his alleged inability to read.
Right.
I don't buy it. Also,
I mean, think about how he met, granted, it could have been by chance, that he was in that. I mean, that more or less could have been by chance that he was in I was about to say the stream. The
stream by the crossroads.
The inn by the crossroads. But just, the way he found, what's her name? The whore of the night, and just tells Tyrion that, oh yeah, I found her with some other lordling, like, there are a lot of like people that believe there's a bigger Dornish master plan, and some of it I buy into, some of it I don't. This is one of the things that I might not buy in, that Dorne's involved, but we don't know where Bronn comes from. We know nothing about him,
He's
who
incredibly
is he?
Smart. He's a great fighter.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of cool. So Gleeson, who is Joffrey in the show, is a professor in Trinity College right now in Dublin.
Whoa, what?
If you
wow, I feel old.
Well, think about it. I mean, it's been 10 years since the first episode. He's been off the show for a while. If you go back to 2012 or 13, he does speak at a college, and the kid's brilliant. Like, it's a 45-minute like interaction with college students, and you could see this kid is just a good human being, but man, does he play a psychopath really well.
Oh, it's just incredible acting.
Yeah. Jacob says you're most welcome because he said this is better than WWE.
Aw.
Yeah, that was really sweet. That's what I used to do with my Monday nights, watch WWE Raw wrestling. Well, I am so glad that, like, that is awesome that you're watching us. because it's a small group that watches us live, and let me take this. I really do. I appreciate you guys like more than you'll ever know. Like, it means so much to me that I was talking to somebody at work, and it made me realize like how lucky I am that, yes, I have a little channel, but I know some people that are just amazing people that look at what's going on with Drunk 3PO right now. The dude is killing it. Like, I am so happy for him. Like, I'm so proud of him, like what he's doing and who he's interacting with, him and Ryan and Gary and everybody and us and you. I mean, Jayne, you're killing it. I got to meet you ladies through this and like find friends. Like, I really enjoy it. Yay. So thank you. Thank you. We really are a community. Yep. And thank God for that. Let's just make sure we don't fight each other. We discuss, you know? Yeah. And his cat likes movements. I don't know if we. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. In the show, doesn't even Tywin mention that Tommen? Yeah. I don't know if he says it in the show, but when we get there, we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he has a conversation with him about what it is to be a king or something. At some point.
Oh, he does. Shane says yes, he does. So I'll take Shane's word for it because definitely we'll know that. We appreciate you too, Scott. Oh, thanks, man. And the ladies. Smash that like button. I reckon Dornish came from a language Cornish from Cornwall. Dornish, no, they're more like Spain, Portugal. That's who the Dornish are. It's not, I wouldn't say Cornish. They're definitely like their language is probably relates more to a Spanish, Portuguese, something like that. But all right. Anything else with this chapter?
No, it was just really hyper emotional and exciting from beginning to end. Like a roller coaster.
That's good after that Dany chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I enjoyed it overall in terms of what we learned about them and what we learned about the world at the time and the stress that these wars are putting on the people.
Right.
So I always love when we get to see not just the Game of Thrones part, but the actual effect that it's having in the world around them. So I enjoyed that.
That's a good way of putting it. How about you, Teresa?
Yeah, everything that she said. I know a bit of a spoiler from the TV show. We're also seeing Tyrion falling into some traps maybe without knowing it that are going to be used against him later.
Oh, we'll have to talk backstage because I'm trying to think of what you're thinking.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. That's the best part about this. There's so many times I just want to be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about, but like we can't, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to just download this thing real quick. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that.
No
all right. So we are done for the night, guys. Thank you to the chat. You guys were so awesome tonight. Thank you. I got to say a special thanks to Joachim I'm trying it again. I'm going back up to see how he wrote his name. Joachim Stark, let's try that again, for becoming a channel member tonight, a Hot Pie level channel member. I promise you guys, I will soon be doing streams for my channel members. I might actually get rid of one of my night streams. I was thinking about Monday, but I just enjoy this way too much.
Yeah, this is the fun one.
It is. There's no, you know, and like, there's no arguing. There's no nothing. It's just a good time.
Controversy.
No controversy. It's just, George, just finish the books. That's the most controversial we get.
He's going to do it. He's going to finish the books.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's going to have a heart attack.
No, do not say that. Makini 90, thank you for being the mod with the most, guys. Yay. Makini, check him out. I told him recently, this is his new avatar, Bubble Girl? Bubbles?
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, what's her name again, Makini? Bubble? I'm sorry, I'm blanking, but I told him to do her again, but make her be, like, have her wearing his logo on her shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you know, an avatar within an avatar. I thought that would be pretty cool. And Jacob says, thank you for spending part of your Monday with me. Please take care and be safe. Jacob, you're awesome, dude. Bubblegum curls. Yeah. Jacob, have fun if WW's still on. Have fun with that. Guys, have fun with your night. Jayne, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. I just released a review of Mortal Kombat and before that Invincible, so definitely check those out.
So good.
You can also, so good. Like if you're not watching Invincible, go check it out.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne. And Miss Martin Muses, Teresa, let them know.
Well, you can find me at Miss Martin Muses here on YouTube, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. And on Twitter, Teresa2_Martin. I have some kitty cats, as always, on Saturday for Catterday, and Legos, Babylon 5 as well.
Nice. Nice. Thank you, ladies, so much. You'll never know how much I appreciate you guys for coming out on the Monday nights. It makes it so much more fun for me. Aww. I miss Stig, and I hope at some point Lady Tauriel can come back on. I know it's hard for her. And Christy, I miss her too. So hopefully they'll be able to come back on. But guys, thank you, everybody. I hope you have a good night. We'll see you Wednesday night for the Humpty Dump, where we'll be having John Talks on. So make sure you guys are checking that one out. And then Saturday, there might be another guest, but I'll talk about that probably Thursday. And hopefully I'll get a video out sometime soon. But until then, this goes out to all my channel members, and please make sure, Joe Kim, you add yourself to this as it's scrolling by. But thank you to you guys. I really appreciate everything you guys do for my channel, and this one's for you. Be safe, everybody. Make sure you have a good night. Put a spork in it.